Welcome to Movie Time in 5. My name is Brian Hayes, and each week I'll provide an almost 5-minute spoiler-free look at a horror sci-fi movie recently released in theaters, on iTunes, or one of your popular streaming services such as Netflix or Amazon Prime. This week I'm going to be reviewing a second movie in addition to A Quiet Place. The second movie I will be reviewing came in second place in my Twitter poll I conducted back on the week of April 26, 2018, and that movie is called Mom and Dad. As of April 7th, 2018, it is available to rent on Amazon Video and iTunes for $5 or to own it for $10. So let's jump into Mom and Dad. The movie stars Nicolas Cage as father Brent Ryan, Selma Blair as the mother Kendall Ryan, along with her two children, Carly and John, played by Ann Winters and Zachary Arthur. This movie also has some wonderful cameos in the latter part of the flick, with one of my favorite actors being one of those, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. The film opens with a mother putting on soothing music for her child as she sets her car on the railroad tracks and leaves the child in the car to die. This sets the tone early on that this is going to be an over-the-top, crazy flick, especially given this is a movie called Mom and Dad. We are then introduced to the Ryans. They're a family of four with a strained relationship. Father Brent not approving of his teenage daughter Carly's new boyfriend, Carly angry with him as well as her mother Kendall, who she considers out of touch. Carly also battles with her younger brother who constantly annoys and taunts her. Carly is forced to cancel plans with her boyfriend to accommodate a visit from her grandparents. We then transition to Carly at school, where an unexplained static starts transmitting through all TV screens and radios. From this point, the movie takes off into hysteria throughout the town as mothers and fathers begin exhibiting terrifying behavior toward their children as the static appears, as the movie concludes with a standoff between the antagonist parents and protagonist children of the Ryan family. So, what does this movie do well? Well, first, this movie does provide an interesting glimpse of modern suburbia, and although over the top beyond what would be expected to happen in real life, displays the pressures and disconnectedness that adults and children experience through modern technology and current methods of escape from reality. Flashbacks in the movie showing days leading up to the epidemic clearly show the anger and misery that the parents already had manifested inside them prior to the trigger that causes them to fully lose all reality. Second, the over-the-top acting will be either something you love or you hate. Nicolas Cage in one scene blasts a pool table with such joy and rage. You can just sense the anger of the situation he finds himself in, not having any sense of self, with frustrations at work, and with his strained relationship with his kids. Each character's frustration is fleshed out as the movie progresses. So what does the movie struggle with? Well, the second half of the movie is an adrenaline rush of epic proportions that seem to drag on way too long between the main Ryan parents and their children. And I much more enjoyed the first half of the movie, which sets the backstory of the relationship and the outbreak of the epidemic. So, in regards to a rating for this movie, this was a difficult movie for me to score. But because it's really a matter of personal taste. You'll either hate it or you're going to love it. I don't believe there will be an in-between. So for myself, I would give Mom and Dad just a 6 out of 10. I found it for myself and my personal liking too frenetic, and the latter part of the movie was disjointed and did drag on too long. It was also greatly disturbing watching not just teenagers, but children and even babies being assaulted and in some cases murdered throughout. For those who don't mind an over-the-top suburbia romp of adults going apeshit crazy on their kids, along with the second half of the movie that drags on too long, I would certainly only rent this movie versus purchasing it. So I hope you've enjoyed this Movie Time in 5. You can find me on Twitter at BrianHayes73. And until next week, do your heart some good and get scared. Bye, y'all.